Chapter 2. By the time Isabel and Lizzie left Fellsworth School, bright, cheery skies had given way to a turbulent storm. The rain fell in thick sheets, but did little to slash the oppressiveness of the early spring heat. Isabel wanted to blame the tightening of her throat and the watering of her eyes on the weather. It was much easier to accept that the stifling mugginess made breathing difficult, or that the morning buds had caused her eyes to itch. But as she watched the school grow smaller and smaller through the carriage window, a tear slipped down her cheek. She immediately wiped it away. It would not do to let young Lizzie see her show such emotion. It could frighten the child. But like her, Lizzie had spent years calling the old stone structure home, and in a matter of one day's time, all had changed for both of them. Mr. Langsby's parting words echoed in her mind. "The important thing now is that you and Miss Lizzie will be with your family. I sense you are hesitant about this particular arrangement, but this is for the best. You will always have friends at Fellsworth School, but Emberwilde Hall is where you need to be." And that was it. Isabel bit her lip as the realization that she might never see the school again resonated. With each new breath, a fearful restlessness churned within her. From this moment on, all would be different. The tranquil school grounds gave way to the village of Fellsworth, and the familiar buildings and cottages blurred in her vision as a messy mix of browns and greys. It seemed the quaint town that had welcomed her all those years ago was sad, or perhaps indifferent, at her departure. "I don't want to go." Lizzie's emphatic words rose above the clattering of the carriage wheels and sliced the reflective silence. Isabel pulled her gaze from the soggy countryside and looked at her 8-year-old sister. The child had repeated the words a dozen, nay, perhaps 100 times over. With red-rimmed eyes and a tear-stained face, Lizzie sat huddled in the corner of the carriage on the opposite side. Her charcoal-grey shawl was tugged tightly around her, clutched in her white-knuckled grip, and a scowl creased her young brow. Her knees were pulled to her chest, and she was ignorant of the manner in which her dirty half-boots marred the fine seat. Once Lizzie realized that Isabel was looking at her, the child hurled words. "Why do we have to go?" The pain twisting her younger sister's expression ripped at Isabel's heart. "We've been through this." Lizzie mumbled, "We won't have any friends there." Isabel swallowed her own lump of frustration. If the truth be told, she did not like the idea any more than Lizzie, but what could be done? Mr. Langsby had made his declaration. The plan had been set into motion. With no funds of their own, they had few choices. Isabel leaned forward, and when her sister refused to make eye contact with her, she rested her gloved hand on her sister's knee. "Listen to me, Lizzie. Father is dead. Both our mothers are dead, and we have no other family. It is important that we nurture the relationships we have. The world is a lonely place for women like us who have no real means of support. This will be good for us. You'll see." "But why now?" Lizzie blurted, the volume of her voice increasing with each syllable. "We've been at Fellsworth a long time. If the Ellisons truly wanted us to live with them, they would have invited us a long time ago." Isabel hesitated. Had she not wondered that exact thing? She tried to soften the news. "But Mr. Langsby said they only just learned where we were. And he says that Emberwilde Hall is a fine estate, with servants and horses and fields and forests." "How does Mr. Langsby know? He's probably never been there." "Be that as it may, Mr. Langsby thinks it is best for us to go." "Why do we have to do what he says?" Lizzie demanded with all the energy her small body possessed. "Because he is in charge at Fellsworth. He makes the decisions. As much as we wish it weren't so, we can't always control what is happening to us. I hate him." Isabel drew a sharp breath at the vehemence in her sister's voice. She reached out and clutched her sister's hand to capture the child's attention. "Lizzie, we hate no one. I never want to hear you say such a thing again. Is that clear?" "But why not? Don't you hate him?" A tear trickled down her cheek. "He must hate us too, otherwise he would not make us leave." "He does not hate us, but even if he did, we do not hate. We must be kind even when the world..."